Today's objective is understanding why Black people keep living in the past. That's today's objective. Before we get into that, Daryl, how you feeling?
I'm cool. I'm cool. Hanging on by a thread, but I'm good. I'm good.
Hanging on by a thread.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm just going to take that and run with it then.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, it is just, those one of those days that it's just a long, overwhelming day. And
Well, that you are right. Excuse me. You are sure right about that.
Yeah. So other than that, how are you?
I'm good. Glad today's done. Done.
Correct.
So let's get into it, Daryl. Let's talk about why we continue to live in the past.
Yep.
Simple answer. It keeps being brought up. Every single time that we speak up, something always got to crawl back in. Something's always got to be crawled back in. I'll give you an example. Let's talk about the Jim Crow laws. Let's revisit this one last time. Let me not say one last time. The Jim Crow laws is a racial system for segregations of schools and parks and libraries, drinking fountains, restrooms, buses, trains, and restaurants. These are the things that back in those days that signs were a constant reminder of that type of segregation. Whites only, colors only. Everything was just divided. And the bigger thing, and what I'm going into, is denied the right to vote in the rural South at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in mind, let's talk about the Georgia changes in voting, starting out with Miss Stacey Abrams. After she lost her governor's race, you remember that pretty well.
Yeah.
She made a stand for everybody to get out and vote. She worked tirelessly, put in tremendous hard amount of work to make sure that everybody was registered to vote, knew where to vote, when to vote, what to bring to vote, and then vote. She and her crew did a phenomenal job at getting people out to vote. Plain and simple. Hands down, best I've seen. So because of that, Democrats won the state of Georgia in the Georgia race since 1992. I think the last time they won was in 1992. And I could be dead wrong, but I believe it was 1992. So after they won, the GOP, the Republicans, were very frustrated about this loss. So now they decided they wanted to put in a 66-page measure or bill about voting. But in short, I'm just going to give you short-term versions of it. The current voting system, according to them, lacks in confidence. So now they want to try to uppy the ante and try to bring more confidence into the voting system. So now they are wanting to mandate that all counties have the same voting as one mandatory Saturday, one additional Saturday or Sunday during the first weekend. That don't make sense to me.
No, it don't.
But it's none of my business, I guess. But it is my business at the same time. Because it doesn't make sense to have that type of early voting or in voting dates and times, because it what are you proving? So the confusion in this is, if the county chooses the first Sunday, the situation will be extremely confusing for county residents with voting closed on that Saturday. This will create an avalanche of misinformation with following regards when voting happens on weekends. The confusion deters voting, which brings out voter suppression. This is what they want. This is what Republicans want. They want voter suppression. Always have, never changed. You can go back 2018, did the same thing there. This is what it is. We're trying to move on, but there are so many things that are being brought back up for us to have to keep fighting, and then we are continuously trying to fight to try to put these things to rest. But everybody's like, just put it out the side, no big deal. What do you mean ain't no big deal? I'm literally sitting right here talking about it right now. This was something that literally had just came out within the month of March. This is something they've been talking about doing ever since they lost the election in Georgia, especially in the runoffs. That was earlier this year. What you talking about? That's 2 months ago. But we're living in the past. This is what they're wanting to bring into our future. It's none of my business, but it is.
It's crazy. This is beyond crazy. They just seem like they get control of any and everything that they are wanting to do. Mm-hmm. But when the Democrats want to try to put things to rest and all of that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So part of the bill says that they will restrict access to secure drop boxes by limiting the number of boxes and required to be inside early voting sites and only available during hours of in-voting or voting early hours. Poof.
Yeah, sound like they believe that what they said that people was voting past the deadline. That's what it sounded like they starting to believe in anyway. Look like they always have believed in it. So this.
How are they going to count the votes? If you believe in that, whoever believes in that, how are they going to count the votes? What, they're supposed to stop right at November 4th at their in particular time? You got to be kidding me right now. November 3rd at that time? You got to be kidding me. No, the votes have to be counted. They can't count them while they're casting it. What sense does that make?
None. Not at all.
Here's a true statement about the thoughts of voting that actually came out of somebody's mouth. Senator John Kavanaugh of Arizona said that everybody shouldn't be voting. Read that again. Everybody shouldn't be voting. If someone or somebody is uninterested in voting, that means they are totally misinformed or uninformed of the issues. Quantity is important. We have to look at the quality of issues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true definition of voter suppression. What do you mean by that, Senator? What do you mean by that? Count the number of items in a bag? Turning away Black people? Making sure that Blacks can't cast a vote, but help in the process of voting? Again, true suppression. True suppression. How are we supposed to be equal under the law, but y'all want this? But you told us that everybody should be voting.
You know what that makes me think of? You know what that makes me think of? It makes me think of, you remember like when people set up booths and stuff for their business or for their fairs and stuff like that, they just had a little booth.
Yep, I remember. I participated in one back in 5th grade. It was a carnival, but they had booths as well. Yeah,
those type of ideas. And you remember the main popular one that was, say, guess how many marbles are in the jar?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah, that type.
Yeah. That right there, guess how many marbles are in the jar in this big container jar.
Yeah.
And people are just guessing off numbers, just of how many marbles are sitting in the jar.
Yep.
This is what this is making me think of. People just spilling out bullshit.
That's exactly what they want. This is what they want.
It's just spilling out bullshit. This is crazy.
It is. And this is exactly what they want. It's like, and Don Lemon described it as literally, that's exactly how he described it. How many marbles are in the jar? Are you kidding me? Is this what we're doing right now? Is this what y'all want us to do?
I didn't even know Don Lemon said it, man. I just threw it out there.
He literally said that.
I didn't even know he said it.
Yes, he did.
You know that because I don't watch Don Lemon.
I know you don't. But he said
I don't watch him.
He said it. He literally said it. Guess how many marbles are in a jar? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah. This is what this is. And it was just like
you worried about you worried about quantity, but you're also worried about quality.
You can't have both, man. No. Not at the moment. You have to juggle between that. We got facts, truth, and rumors.
Yeah.
All in one sitting right now.
Mm-hmm. So, in conclusion, this is what we're living in. We're continuously living in a time where things are being run back up from the past that's going to continue to get to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to continue to speak out on it. Plain and simple. We have to. It's not an option.
Not an option.
It's not an option.